If you struggle to stay motivated, your problem isn't discipline, it's purpose. Last month I made $200,000, and if you would have told me that I would have made this much a year ago, I would have never believed you. I could never stay focused, I couldn't stay consistent with anything, and overall I just failed at every single commitment I made. So what changed? I just realized that everything these internet gurus teach you about discipline just isn't true. Discipline isn't
doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Because that would be impossible to sustain. Discipline comes from defining a reason that makes doing the hard work more enjoyable than avoiding it. Think about how much harder you would work if your mom was in the hospital and couldn't afford the bill. So it's not a matter of discipline, it's a matter of reason. A year ago I couldn't focus at all, and now I can work 12 hours per day. So what changed? Because I didn't magically just gain discipline. I just became so miserable at college that for me, the thought of having to stay another semester was more painful than actually doing the hard work. Truly understanding how to become disciplined is how I became a millionaire at 20 years old, and in this video I'm going to give you the methods I use to crush every single goal that I've set out to achieve. But before I give you the secret to discipline, it's extremely important that you actually understand what discipline is. Which is why in this video I'll be getting two of my friends, Brandon and Michael, to run a whole marathon in under 8 hours with just 1 day's notice. Watch as they obtain the discipline to complete one of the most mentally exhausting activities one can complete, as well as be pushed into the top 0.01% of people once they obtain a good enough reason, which for them is going to be $500. So let's begin. So yesterday I offered two of my friends $500 each to run a marathon.
That shit gonna make me run 26 miles.
They surprisingly both said yes, which is awesome for me because I thought I was gonna have to offer them $1,000 each. So Michael and Brandon, if y'all are watching this, thank y'all. Now what makes this experiment so perfect is that running is almost 100% a pure mental battle. And that's literally the whole point of this video, to see if they're able to push themselves to their limits despite every muscle in their body telling them to stop. So hopefully they can do it, because if not, this video is going to be a huge waste of time for everybody. The first 2 miles, they literally tore through this challenge. They looked completely unstoppable. I honestly was starting to think this video wouldn't even work because mile after mile, they crushed their previous times.
I feel great.
I was seriously starting to second guess myself as if this challenge was too easy, as they started approaching the halfway mark, showing zero signs of struggle. Then finally, they reached mile 13.
My left ear is popped. Speltz needs water.
Yeah, I'm dying.
They were halfway through the marathon and they were seriously starting to show it.
I don't know how I'm feeling. I'm just going through the motions. It physically hurts.
It was at this exact moment that I was reminded exactly how our goals actually work. We start off amazing, we're excited about our new endeavor, and are running off pure adrenaline and motivation. But unfortunately, those feelings are only temporarily, and they will soon start to fade. We say we're going to go to the gym every day for the next year, and we're really consistent at first. But then one day we wake up and we don't have enough time, or simply just don't want to go. It's at this moment when our willpower is running so low, when it is so important to have a reason to continue. If any part of you is comfortable not continuing past this point, you won't. If you're fine with the way you look, you'll take the day off. But on the other hand, take someone who just got his heart broken and absolutely hates himself. For him, he would be more comfortable going to the gym than he would be staying the same as he was when his girl left him. This is what I'm trying so hard to prove, and I'm sorry I keep repeating myself, but discipline isn't a skill or a trait. Look at Michael Jordan, for example, one of the most disciplined people of all times, right? Then why didn't he have a gambling problem? Michael Jordan had wired it into his head that he had to become the best basketball player of all time. But for gambling, he never established that reason to quit, and thus never was able to, and had zero discipline when it came to the matter. Now let's return back to Michael and Brandon. I am going to seriously test their willpower and give them an out that they've been looking for. I'm going to offer them $100 if they want to leave right now.
Alright, what mile are we on?
16.
Are y'all cooked?
Yes.
Alright, well look, I will offer y'all $100 each to just quit right now.
Nah, no way. We're more than half.
Well,
we're too close.
If I was on mile 5, I'll still walk.
Okay, I don't know about that.
y'all just want to see me lose a band that bad?
Generational.
I literally offered them an out. Their body is completely torn apart and they can do nothing but walk at this point. Yet did you see their reason for continuing? It's not even about the money anymore. It's about the fact that they're already over halfway done. They reached the point where it'd be more painful for them to quit and it'd all be for nothing than it would be to just finish the race. Now it is your mission to find a reason that gets you to this point, which I will teach you at the end of the video. Majority of the times your reason only needs to get you to the 3-week mark, because after that a habit is formed and your brain is literally rewired to enjoy the hard work. Like look at me, my initial reason for working the 12-hour days was so that I could drop out, but I've now been out of college for over 7 months and yet I still work 12-hour days. I don't need the motivation anymore. When you start seeing progress, you begin to witness the rewards that doing the hard work brings, which makes your brain start to see the hard work as pleasurable. Working this hard has gotten me a car fully paid off as well as a house that I live in with my brothers. TikTok and Netflix didn't, so my brain no longer finds joy in doing those things. The remaining miles played out as their bodies began to deteriorate more and more, but slowly they continued, and mile after mile they got closer and closer to the finish line. They were too far in, they could barely walk at this point. Their joints started hurting and their limbs started cramping. My mind was begging them to quit as the $500 was no longer worth it, but it served its purpose. $500 got them to take their first few steps and begin working towards their goal, until finally, it was no longer needed for them to cross the finish line. So now you understand that you're not undisciplined, you just lack reason. But now you need to figure out how to create a reason. Well, the most important part of picking a reason is that it has to make you physically and mentally uncomfortable at the thought of not actually doing the work. The first way you can do this is make yourself feel literally deprived of whatever it is that you actually want. Now, this was a very important lesson I had to reteach myself when I became a millionaire. I had a house paid off, I had all my expenses covered, and I felt way richer than the people around me. And it wasn't until I talked to my mentor that he actually explained how to fix this. He explained that poor people don't have any desire to get money because they're surrounded by poor people, so they feel comfortable in comparison. Meanwhile, have you ever noticed how rich people always are hungry? They always are trying to get more money, and it's because they surround themselves with people that are way richer than them, so they feel like they have nothing in comparison. He explained that I had to make myself feel literally poor and deprive myself of money almost. I started networking with richer people and I raised my expenses a ton so that I had to work harder. So if you're bad at something, surround yourself with people that are good at it. If you're weak, surround yourself with people that are strong. If you're fat, don't hang around other fat people. Now, the second way you can do this is by committing to something. Goals are just dreams with a deadline, so give yourself a deadline. I want to start running, so me and my friends signed up for a marathon in December. Now I have no choice but to go out and train. Now, the last way is to put something on the line. This is because loss aversion states that we are more sensitive to losing something than actually gaining something. I've always struggled to put on weight and I've always wanted to fight, so what did I do? I bet my friend $1,000 that in 3 months I would beat him in a boxing match. The thought of losing the money and more importantly the fight itself is so painful that it makes training every day extremely easy. So bet your friend that if you don't achieve your goal, you'll give them money or you'll buy them dinner or something along those lines. The main thing you need to take away from this video is that as long as you give yourself a reason to not achieve your dreams, you won't do them. As long as you're comfortable with the thought of failure, you won't succeed. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please consider following because I'll be uploading once every 2 weeks. This is my first ever video, and I've already noticed a ton of mistakes such as lighting and things that'll be fixed in the next video, but if you saw anything that needs to be improved, then please comment so I can make the revisions for the next one. My goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, and I am currently at 136. Damn, I might be cooked. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.